Trump and his cronies smashed the big awful bill through, and we've got some on that. And plus, we got a robot football match that went down where? Of course, it was China. Hit subscribe, and we'll get started. So the Republicans muscled Ronald Gump's big tax and spending cut bill through the House on Thursday. It's the final step to get the bill on his desk so that he can sign it with that childlike Sharpie crayon looking thing that he uses. At nearly yeah, exactly, and it's all hanging, and it's awful. It's the skin doesn't look good on that man. The legislation's like 900 pages long, and it's a sprawling collection of tax breaks and spending cuts and other Republican priorities that do no good for anybody unless you're really rich, or maybe because there's going to be like the tax on tips thing going away. That's one of the few that people like. Democrats united against this legislation, but we're powerless to stop it because, it just comes down to the numbers. They needed more Republicans to dissent against it than we got. And wow, did we get some spineless, yellow-bellied responses to this from people who are just too scared of the ring on Trump's finger. So, tax cuts are the priority. Republicans say the bill is crucial because blah, blah, blah. And it's not. And the legislation contains about $4.5 trillion in tax cuts for a country who's got trillions and trillions of national debt. The existing tax rates and brackets would now become permanent because of this. They were the ones that Trump brought in his first term, and now they're going to be in there. It also adds deductions on tip, overtime, and auto loans. Those are a couple of things that are hard to, get mad at. There's a $6,000 deduction for older adults who earn no more than $75,000 a year. And that's kind of his pledges to end taxes on Social Security benefits, although it's not really, it's just a cut. It would boost the $2,000 child tax credit to $2,200, but millions of families at lower income levels will not qualify for this now. There's a whole bunch of business-related tax cuts. Some say could spur a little bit of growth. But the wealthiest households are only going to see a $12,000 increase because of the legislation, and the poorest people will see a $1,600 increase. And most of this comes from the fact that they're just going to raid Medicaid and food aid and just decimate the programs. There's $350 billion for Trump's border and national security agenda, except, the border wall and all that stupid ass crap. There's going to be 10,000 new immigrant and customs enforcement officers, ICE, 10,000 signing bonus just for taking the job. They're trying to get at least 1 million people a year deported. So immigrants are going to face new fees and stuff. It's not just a gold card. Imagine paying so that people from the town that you grew up in could be deported. That's going to be a weird one for people. The Pentagon, the bill's going to provide billions for shipbuilding, munitions systems, a few other things. $25 billion for the Golden Dome missile defense system. I don't know much about missile defense systems, but if you can build the Golden Dome for $25 billion, I'll be shocked. And they also get another $1 billion for border security. And Republicans are going to cut way back food assistance and everything, right? Of course. They're also, where is it here? There is money being taken from FEMA to help pay for the alligator Alcatraz and whatnot as well. Imagine, like with the hurricane seasons America's had recently, there's been some really bad hits. Imagine hearing, I'm sorry, we can't help you because we got, Chavez and Jose locked up.
Yeah, and not to mention where they've actually got that place. That's Hurricane and Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
So FEMA money has been spent to put up temporary buildings that are just going to get flattened as soon as the hurricane goes through.
Exactly. Well, just to close it out here, the Congressional Budget Office, they're an independent sort of overwatch group. They estimate that 11.8 million more Americans will become uninsured by 2034 because of this bill. Imagine that. Imagine that. How do you look at somebody and say, I'm sorry that you can't take your sick child to the hospital, but I had to make sure that CEO could afford another Rolls Royce?
Yeah. Well,
Unbelievable, man.
Having medical insurance isn't worth having the paper it's printed on.
Yeah, yeah. You remember Trump's National Garden of American Heroes? That's in the bill. $40 million, but they're going to screw over those that are on the lower end of the income ladder. But they're going to spend $40 million to make a garden.
Well, they had a garden. It was called the Rose Garden. They plowed that.
Yeah. They even pulled back the $200 tax on gun silencers and short-barreled rifles and shotguns. A short-barreled rifle and a shotgun is only good for like gangster warfare. Shouldn't even be on the list. Like it shouldn't even exist.
Free AR-15s to the mentally ill.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Oh man, where are you going with your first story here? Oh yeah. Some football being played.
Yeah, we're off to China in Beijing, and a football match, unlike any other. 4 teams of humanoid robots clashed in Beijing on Saturday in a 3-a-side tournament driven by artificial intelligence. It was probably more intelligence there than a normal football pitch. Well, the match was part of an AI robotics competition between university teams, with each squad programming and adapting humanoid robots using custom algorithms. And the final saw Tsinghua University's Thu Robotics defeat the China Agricultural University's Mountain Sea team by 5-3. Well done to them, claiming the championship title. But while the scoreboard showed the progress, the footage revealed it's like a different story, with the robots tripping, tumbling, big stretching off after failing to stand up again. And in several instances, robots attempting to kick the ball succeeded in only kicking the air all themselves.
Do that thing where you kick and end up on your back.
yeah, like Charlie Brown. Yeah. According to Cheng Hao, founder and CEO of Booster Robotics, which built the humanoids, football represents an ideal testing ground for developing robot mobility and coordination. You should try dancing. Well, I suppose robots already do that, don't they? In the future, we may arrange for robots to play football with humans, Cheng said. Because the penalties would be fantastic.
Watch a bunch of robots standing there holding their junk so it doesn't hurt.
yeah, but it'd be like a Robot Wars as well. They come in with like a spinning blades and shit like that. So they want to ensure that the robots are completely safe. That's bollocks to that.
Look like they are by these pictures.
Yeah, one condition that still needs to work is keeping them to stay upright for more than 30 seconds. We'll build one out of a ball then.
Yeah, make them like Weeble Wobbles, man. They don't fall down.
Yeah, one of the football players just do an AI ball.
Yeah,
it just powers itself. You don't need any players.
I think this might work better in the digital world. Try, virtual.
But it's very, it's obviously very, very impressive to see, the advance of robots, on each year.
Very much.
But, I don't know. Yeah, could be fun.
Yeah. So, if you're not happy with the big, beautiful bill and you want to hear more of the crappy things, hit subscribe because we'll have more of it very soon for you.
Yes, and if you're a footballer worried about your job being taken away by robots in the future, leave us a comment in the comment section.
Indeed. Cry all you need to. That would really suck, though. I ain't watching robotic sports.